Yes. Perfect. So, hello everybody. Thank you for joining today's performance team meeting. It's February 20, 2023. We have a couple of 4 agenda items to talk today. Before that, is there anybody who want to say something as an announcement? If there isn't anybody, I can start by it. There are a couple of good news. One of them is this week, the new URL parser is going to be released with the latest Node version. So we will see some performance benefits from it. That's one of the good news. The second good news is there are lots of performance improvements that are done out of the scope of the open issues done by Joey, Ruben, and a couple of other folks that I don't want to forget, and including Robert, obviously. So it's really exciting to see all of those things. Some of them is in like timers, error creation. I opened one for like module resolution, but when the time comes, we can talk about these. And before starting, does anybody want to share anything?
Well, sorry, I was planning to create a PR to improve the event creation by going a bit out of spec with one of the properties. We received some feedback from James Snell, and he was okay with that. So I'll probably post a new PR during this week.
Perfect. And if you think we should talk like about it in the next meeting, can you add the performance agenda label to it?
Okay, will do.
Okay, perfect. So I don't we don't want to miss talking about it. Other than that, are there any others? Hello, Miguel. Are there any others?
Hello.
Announcements that you want to talk? Hi. Perfect. So if there isn't anything, we can start. The first agenda item is get libuv now with slope. I will put the link, the issue. It was initially created by Robert, but I think he can explain it better than I do.
Which issue is it? Is it the
Get libuv now? Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone at Node.js core did a refactoring of the timers.
Yes, Joey, I guess. Yeah.
Actually included a fix for that, but maybe we're missing a reference.
No, I actually added. So Joey opened a pull request called timers use V8 fast API calls.
Yeah.
I'll just drop the pull request here.
Yeah, there it is.
We saw around 5 to 7% improvement by using V8. It's still open, but amazing example of how we can use V8 fast API.
Yeah. I don't know if this actually fixed the get libuv now issue. I suppose it does. I don't know if it's used anywhere else.
I think
there is a fast get libuv now. Yeah, so it fixed that as well. So I think we can remove this for the agenda. It's just a question of getting that PR merged.
By the way, you were asking there how to get the environment, and there's a good example in that PR on how to do that for Fast API. Okay, so if you take a look at that by using a snapshot table object or things that, you can do that. Okay, just.
Okay. Are there any other topics that we want to talk under this issue, or I'm going to remove the performance agenda label and we will keep tracking the issue until the pull request is merged? And if the issue still persists, then we can create a new issue and add it. Perfect. So let's continue to the second agenda item, number 44. Which is, I will just share the link through here. Abort signal pattern is slow. Yeah, this was mainly creating abort signals, creating errors were super slow. And regarding this, Ruben created an issue. I think the link is not included in the issue, but basically error creation is a lot faster. It's still pending. So if you look at it, we see around minimum 80%, maximum 166% improvement for creating errors, small errors, and with high stack frames, which is amazing because this has been a really bottleneck for a really long time. So thanks, Ruben. Yeah, also for fetch. So for a lot of hot patches, even though it's like a positive path, happy path, the error was always created. It's still created, but the overhead of them is relatively low right now. So is there anybody else who want to share anything on this?
So yeah, I've noticed. We keep discussing on this issue about not the things that were actually in the RxJS comment. So I updated it now just to increase clarity. So with the abort signal pattern, there's actually 3 issues. One is creating the abort error itself, which has been very slow, and as you mentioned, has been improved. The other part is the event creation, emitting events is slow. But which somebody else was opening a PR for, Santiago was opening a PR. But the problem that RxJS is referring to, and why they don't want to include the abort signal pattern, is actually adding and removing event listeners on event target. So that is actually the primary thing, this specific issue that I created, I would like it to solve.
So maybe we can update the title to adding and removing event listeners for event targets are slow. So that
actually, I'll just create a new issue and refer the new issue from this, and this can be a placeholder for everything that has to do with that pattern.
Okay.
And do we have any benchmark that covers this? Do you know?
I think we do. I added one around October or September, but let me quickly check it. So event target, we have one for add event listener and dispatch event only.
So event.
Yes, add and remove. So there's one for adding and removing later.
I created another issue. I'm sorry if I didn't follow this last part, but it's linked.
Yeah.
It's linked. I created a new issue and linked it from the this more generic issue.
Okay. So benchmark events EE minus add minus remove.js. So there's a benchmark that we can use to track these.
Could you add it to the issue or something? So I'd like to take a look at that.
Yes, let me share the link of the actual file. And I will just add it directly to the GitHub issue that Robert created. Yes. And if this isn't sufficient, then we can update or grade the benchmarks. So should we close this issue and just keep the new one?
Fine with me.
Is it okay for everybody? Okay, so I'm just going to close this issue.
But
It's already closed.
Oh.
Is it? No, it's not. Sorry.
This benchmark, just to be clear, is for event emitter right now, but we could reuse it for event target also.
Okay.
So you would have to update it or create another one that is. Oh, there is an event target. Actually, I think you linked to the wrong file, but I'll update it.
There's event targets for it adds an event listener and then start benchmarking for dispatch event. So
Okay. So yeah, it needs to be updated, that benchmark.
Yeah.
Benchmark for adding and removing only.
So instead of event emitter, we can just do it for the event target and create a new file, maybe.
Yep.
Okay, so let's continue to the next issue, which is module resolution. I just share with you the link. Issue number 39. It was initially created by John, but it was referring to Marvin's issue about how module resolution is slow. I did some research this week regarding module resolution. I opened one pull request to improve ESM resolve performance. I'll just share with you the link. So basically, we shouldn't use stat sync in anywhere in the internal core because we already have a file, an API called internal module stat, which returns integer 0, 1, or 2, depending on it's a file, directory, or non-existence. So this greatly improves it, but it's not yet merged, even though it has all the reviews. I want to keep it as it is because there's a pending pull request for changing off-threading loaders, which is already 120 commits. And if we merge this, then it's going to create conflicts, and I don't want to create any pain. So, but other than that, I found out that we don't have any caching on ESM side. We have it on CommonJS loaders. So if you load it one more time, then it stores in the cache, and then you don't need to go to the file system to read it again. But for ESM, this doesn't exist. So after this pull request is merged, we need to, we should definitely add a caching layer. So yeah, those are my updates from this test.
Cool.
So if there isn't any updates, then we can go to the next task, which is issue number 9.
Nine. There we go.
So this is mainly what we GStreams initially created for fetch performance.
Kappa had some idea. Have somebody followed up on that?
So Rafael said that Rafael might follow up after PRs, but he doesn't think that it's going to increase the performance because now we are reusing theirs.
Well, in my opinion, didn't we say last time that we can close this issue?
I think so. So from my side, the only impactful work that we can do on streams is to move everything to C++ side, just like Dino Ban did, which would greatly improve the performance, but it will come with a cost because we have a lot less C++ contributors to Node.js. So yeah, but for the time being, I think we can close this issue. Is that okay with everybody? Should we keep it?
Let's close it because now we're starting to get a lot of issues on the performance repo. Yes, I'm partly to blame for that, but
no, it's really good. It's really good to have all of these issues to keep track of them so that we know why we are slow in certain cases.
But I don't think anyone has any intention of doing any further work with this at the moment. So
yeah. For Spin, yes. So I think this is it for today's meeting. But before we close, I want to update you on certain things. One of them is I've been so I opened a couple of pull requests to improve the URL parser. A lot that we can do. So while doing that, I found out that Dino provides a certain optimization about happy paths in URL. So if you pass a URL that doesn't require any percent encoding or decoding, and it's 100% valid, then you don't need to return the whole string with portions to the Node.js site. So if you benchmark http google.com, if you just return the start and ending indexes of each portion of the URL, let's say for protocol, it's like 0 to 3. For host name, it's 3 to 7, sort of like that. Then it would be a lot faster to do it. So I had a talk with Daniel about this, and we found a little bit more optimization to improve this. So Dino has this Boolean expression of keeping these things. So if it's either a happy path or it's not, but in a lot of scenarios, the only path name, for example, requires percent encode or decoding. So if we provide an API to Ada to, depending on the input, depending on the portion, returning a variant, either it's a string or it's the start and end index of the input of the portion, then the bottleneck of receiving data and copying data from backend from C++ side to JavaScript would be a lot faster for happy path. But it comes with a cost because the structure is getting complex and complex. The not happy path of requiring percent encode and decoding is going to have a hit. Not as much as we have a positive side on the happy path, but it comes with a cost. So yeah, do you have any feedback, any questions? That it's still early in its early ages because we need to do lots of benchmarks and we actually need to develop this, which is a little bit complex and to explain it in a couple of minutes, but
yeah, I think I need a PR to follow along.
Yeah, so the issue is we shouldn't return strings for every part of the URL. We can return integers, which is a lot faster. And if we add V8 fast API, so if we have a array buffer like uint8 array in the C++ side of it, and if we just update that array buffer, if it's the happy path, then we can use fast API and we can fall back to slow API because we need to return string and a complex function. Then it would be a lot faster for fast paths. So this is what I was trying to improve, because right now we are so I added a benchmark comparing Ada with curl, WhatVG, and servo URL today. So Ada is actually 3 times faster than Servo and 2 times faster than curl, and around 2-3 times faster than Watuigi. But the issue is, so Dino is using Servo URL, Bun is using WebKit's implementation, which I didn't have any chance to benchmark it yet. But we are right now in, even though we are 3 times faster than Servo URL, which Dino uses, we are still, sorry, Ruben came. I will promote them, the panels, yes. So even though we are 3 times faster than Dino's URL parser, we are back-to-back in terms of performance because of the GS layer optimizations that they did. So this would be an opportunity to maybe quadruple the performance that we get. That's my goal.
Sounds great.
So yeah, hi Ruben. We talked about a little bit of your performance improvements that you did, which is amazing work. So yeah, any other questions that you want to share? No?
One
Yes.
thing I was checking, can we reopen the, you know, I can't remember where it is. The issue that we just closed about event target, because I have something to reference for the event constructor improvements that I plan to do, because all has been discussed there. So we can close it after I send the PR.
You mean
Yeah,
abort
I-
signal pattern is slow issue?
No, I was thinking of, where is it? I just had it open. I can't find it
It's
right now.
44.
Not 44, it was the one about event target. 34? No, 34? That's still open, or we just close it? Oh, sorry about that. It's still open. I was just confused. Sorry.
No worries. So yeah, so on the other hand, I created an issue a couple of weeks ago, actually last week, about like improving the performance of URL search params and query string stringify. If anybody wants to take it and copy the code that I've written for fast query string to replace the existing implementation, this would be a really good thing. Because Undici uses URL search params and query string module. I proposed adding fast query string to Undici, but there were valid concerns about not adding a dependency. So this leaves us with an option to either copy fast query string code into Undici or updating query string. In either scenario is acceptable from my side, because in short term, if we just copy all of my code to Undici, then Undici will have the performance boost right now. If we update Node, then it will take a year for the end user to get that performance boost. So in either scenario, if anybody wants to take this task, I'm happy to provide and help. I think Debadre is attempted to solve this, but I didn't see any issue. So if he's working, or like if anybody else want to work on it, happy to help. So I guess that's it for today. Is anybody want to add anything or any questions that we want to talk today? Best audience ever. Okay, perfect. That's good. No questions is a good thing. So everybody has the answer to their questions. So.
All right. Cheers.
Okay, so have a great day. Bye-bye.